All right, Kenman here, and we're getting back to some roots of the channel with a classic die project number 61. Oh yeah, 60 of these have been done. Not all have been completed. A couple in limbo in the past. Can you guess? Do you remember which ones they are? This is the Sencut Kyril. Just got it, so it's kind of actually jumping the line. Reason being is most of the other ones that I have, I also want to do either a laser mark or an acid etch too. And when I was looking at this, it just screamed out a specific color. We'll find out in a little bit. And I like the satin tone to the liners and all the hardware, and I think just leaving it as is cool. So we're just going to do a nice classic KDK die project number 61. Get the last looks at it. Not going to look like this anymore. Fun little knife. Feels good. This might be one I just kind of keep and carry as a secondary or a user for those tasks. I don't know. I carry so many different knives, you know. Anyway, let's get down to it. There it is. Let's tear this thing apart. Boom. Get out the old board as we have done in the past. And a couple of tools. Bada bing, bada boom. Dinner is served. Voila. All right, I'm going to time lapse this part for the teardown, and then we can get right into the die. That was interesting, that second set of screws inside there holding the backspacer on. Very interesting why it didn't come apart right at that spot. I don't know if you could tell on the time lapse, but you'll see when we put her back together or whatever. So we've got them apart, got the two pieces. I'm going to go wash them, get some soap on there, get off any of the oil or the grime that'll kind of affect. So if there's a little streak of it, you don't want that to show up when we do our die. But we'll get these three pieces washed up and do it. Boom. Okay, we are here. I've got the scales on these little hooks so we can get them in and out of the die easily. We're going to send them in here, splish them around, make sure there's no air bubbles on there, and then let them sit. I have the die mixed up. About 2 ounces of RIT dye with about 20 to 24 ounces of water. And I've turned on the heat, got it just under boiling. Just want to get it hot. I've seen people that have it rolling, boiling. You don't necessarily need it. Mine's actually about to start boiling here. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. It is not necessary to be boiling, but the heat does activate it and make it work quicker. If you did it at room temperature, it could take hours to days to develop the same color, maybe not even ever. The heat is really what kind of helps it soak in and activate. Here's a Migron that I did before where it has a backspacer to it. So you can see the backspacer doesn't always take the color exactly the same. This turned out pretty good. It takes it the same, but the thing is it's cut. You're looking at the side of it. So soaking in through the side often will end up looking darker. So we might end up taking that out a little bit early versus the scales, just because it is going to look a little darker on the side. So we can kind of watch that as we go. But hopefully we'll get a nice even kind of color like this one here. I'm going to go ahead and take a peek right away, just going to see what's developing. See, they're getting dark pretty fast. We can rinse. I do want this to be kind of a darker orange, but we need to rinse them basically in the water to reveal what's actually happening. When the dye is still on the scale, it will look darker, and you don't actually know exactly how dark the scale is until you rinse it off. And so we're going to try that right now. We're going to go ahead and just take them. This actually I'm going to do first, since just in case those others are done. Drop that in there. It is definitely picking up, bumping the camera, that orange rather quickly. It was hot. Wow. We might even stop right there. This is my apricot orange. Haven't used it much. I used it a couple of times for, yeah, we're done. For a couple knives that I have sold or given away as prizes. So I don't actually have a knife with this color. But look at how quick that orange came out. Bam. Okay. Wow. That was fast. Anyone time that out? We can check back on the tape right there. But yeah, so wow. Very quick. Some colors will work much faster than others. Reds and oranges definitely seem to hit pretty quick, pretty hard, but sometimes it has to soak longer. I don't know, but this apricot orange is exactly what I was looking for. These look nice. We're going to go ahead and get them off of these hooks, rinse them off really good so there isn't any excess dye on there. And then we're going to get them back to the table, dry them off, and we can put this sucker back together. What do we think? Excellent. We have done it. Die project number 61 in the books. Apricot on this beauty right here. The Sencut Kyril 9CR18 MOV flipper. Good looking apricot orange on there. What do we think about the final look? Backspacer. It was a little interesting putting it back together. It didn't want to line up quite right, but I got it in there tight. Looks clean. I love the way that just, you can kind of still see through it a little bit, but that alternating apricot to the liners back and forth is just a cool sandwich look, excuse me. Got it centered for the most part. It actually looks like it's a little bit that way. I could probably work on that a little bit, clean it up, but I'm glad I decided I didn't want to do an acid etch to this, which is why it jumped the line. It really just needed a good change in color from the jade. This is a cool knife. I'm going to carry this one around, mess around with it, test it out. I like the way it feels. The action still works good. That choke up spot. Woo! Maybe another standard secondary carry user here. What do we think of the final product? Number 61 in the books. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.